she needs to get looked at for X, Y, and Z, because they don't have the right to talk. I mean, obviously he's my husband, but they have the right to talk to him because I've signed a paper. But if my mother were to call and say, you know what, I think she's really depressed. I think they'd blow her off because she doesn't have the right to speak about me.
But how do you, as a concerned friend,
right,
says, Bernie, I think your wife is mentally disabled. Well, maybe you'll say, well, yeah, she is. Or you'll say, are you fucking high? Why would you even say that to me? So you have that friction. But in my gut feeling, I'm like, listen, Bernie, I think she's going to fucking snap, dude. And, you might hit the wrath of this.
I already do.
You know what I'm saying.
No, I know what you're trying.
I mean,
it's true. It's the mentality and the disciplines out there in this world have to change in order to make.
Everybody should just be on happy pills. Fuck it.
Well, talking about pills, let me just tell you this, all right?
Happy pills.
As you both know, I just passed my medical DOT card, which is, in this day and age, huge, because I've been diagnosed with diabetes, I've been diagnosed with CPAP, or sleep apnea, and, excuse me, the beer is delicious here in the garbage, by the way. Oh, it's delicious. So when I go to do my physical, I am shitting my pants because this is my livelihood. It's like, Bernie, if I took DJing out of your life, it would be like losing a child.
Sure.
You take trucking out of my life, and it's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Maybe I could be a full-time DJ, but no, I'm not going to be... No, well, hey. Don't give out my secrets. But that would be totally devastating to me. But, oh, shit, I hate when this happens because now my brain defrags and I'm like, all right. But when I go in for my medical exam, I go to my regular doctor and everything's cool. Like, everything's good. They take my blood pressure and blah, 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 and whatever.
But it's a normal routine.
Yeah.
You might have a form of anxiety because the thing is
it's beyond anxiety.
Well, no, you brought up your own point in which, listen, if I don't get this, this DOT card, I'm fucked. I can't do anything. No. So you're stressing over something like that, and sometimes, that does affect.
I'm the same way when I have to go in to renew my license because I've got to look in that machine. I've got to tell them what the eye chart is, and I freak out every time because I know. Even though I've had my eyes checked.
Well, you're legally blind,
that
right?
I know that I'm legally blind. Yeah, fuck you too, Ray. But I know...
She saw that.
I know that I'm legally blind.
Yeah.
And even with my glasses, there's times when I have a hard time seeing.
Well...
So... Going in and having to look, and I'm like, oh fuck,
I panic.
Here's the thing: you're supposed to get your eyes checked every year, every 2 years, whatever. I get my eyes checked. Yes, my right eye is stronger than the left eye, and okay, great. I get a new prescription. I cringe when she has to go get her eyes checked because it's always which is better, 1 or 2, and I'm like. I'm like, what?
Neither.
And it's just thick glasses. I mean, I think Coke bottles for this woman here, unfortunately. And it's just, and again, it's something that we make
old,
jokes
man.
about.
We're getting old.
I could go every 6 months.
We're really heavily dependent about that. If we can't see, we can't DJ. We can't drive our cars. We can't do normal everyday things that we take for granted. And you know what I mean. So it becomes.
I could go for an eye exam every 6 months, and I guarantee you that they would change my prescription every 6 months.
Well, I'm thinking if everybody had to go through what I have to go through to keep my license, there'd be a lot more people off the road.
Maybe.
There would be a lot more people off the road,
and
man.
And again, that's something that, what We go through for our licenses, what, every 4 years? What is it, 5 years now?
Every 4.
Every 4. I maybe.
Actually, I think mine is 5 now.
Okay.
I think I just got mine obviously done in
Unless
September.
you have, I don't know,
and I think
CDL's
it's
4 years.
It seems like a lot more people, regardless of age, has to deal with some sort of either disease or disorder or some kind of incapacitation, what have you. And here's the other thing. Okay, tell me if you guys think this is bullshit or if this is real. Okay, there is something called SAD. Believe it or not, the acronym is SAD. S-A-D, literally and figuratively. It's called Seasonal Affective Disorder.
Agree.
Listen to this. Seasonal affective disorder is a type of depression that is related to changes in seasons. SAD begins and ends about the same time every year, which is between October and April. If you're most likely a person with SAD, your symptoms start and continues heavily through the winter months, especially in the northeast region of the United States. It saps your energy. It makes you feel moody. You're less often to feel happy. SAD also causes depression and they're also saying also in early spring and late summer. I don't know if that's true or not. Treatment for SAD may include light therapy, vitamin D, medications, and psychotherapy. Believe it or not, it says people that feel that they have SAD should not brush this off and should be treated for seasonal affective disorder. It's also called the winter blues. In most cases, seasonal affective disorder symptoms appear, obviously, again, during early winter, going through the winter months. And it's less commonly people with opposite patterns that have symptoms that begin in spring or summer. Either case, symptoms may start out mild and become more severe as the winter season progresses. Bullshit or not bullshit? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Here are the signs and symptoms of SAD. Feeling depressed most of the day, nearly every day. Losing interest in activities once you interest in activities that you do enjoy most of the time, having low energy, having problems with sleeping, experiencing changes in your appetite and weight, feeling sluggish or agitated, having difficulty concentrating, feeling hopelessness, worthless, or guilty, having frequent thoughts of death or suicide.
It sounds like a DOT exam. Holy fuck, man. You're actually asking all those questions are on the fucking list that I have to fucking answer.
Okay.
Bernie,
Holy shit.
I will leave you to answer that question.
You're telling me that I have those symptoms, do you?
No.
Is that what you're saying? Are these symptoms that you experience? That is, am I seeing that perception of you?
Every winter.
Because you know what it is? It starts after fucking Halloween.
Yes,
Because
it
you
does.
go right
Right in
into
there.
fucking holiday seasons,
Unfortunately
man.
for me, it starts before Halloween. And the reason that it starts before Halloween is because that's when my brother passed away.
Yeah.
So the second, the week before comes around,
But as
I'm
the
not-
business you guys are in, it's overwhelming. You don't you deal with the holiday season, but you got to DJ all these parties, man. And, all these holiday fucking parties.
And the thing is you have to have the opposite of what these signs and symptoms are. You're the cheery face. You're that
You
smile.
have to.
You're that face.
You may be depressed on the inside, but you got a 180 that.
Here's-
Man.
Smiling
Yes,
on.
yes. My life is miserable, but today it's your
I'm glad
night.
you're having fun.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. 70 people that have this the SAD, this disorder, happens when the time changes occur
I agree.
in November. 70%.
Dude, when
of
the
the
sun
people,
sets at 4 o'clock and I'm driving, I'm like,
yeah.
it's 4 o'clock and it's fucking dark out, and I still got 3 more
Think-
fucking hours of working.
And here's
That's depression, man. It's like, fuck.
And here's the other thing. A lot of people have to think about this way. A lot of people wait for December 21st because, unfortunately, that is winter solstice, and that's when the days start getting longer. Finally,
When is that?
December 21st.
I have to wait that long?
Yeah, and then it starts changing, and then again, and then
Oh, by the way, just so you know, my birthday's on the 29th, so I hope you guys...
Oh, yeah, we got you covered. We
right,
knew that.
All right,
we
good.
definitely 12:29.
Well,
Here's the other thing.
12:29?
Here's-
11:29,
11:29,
fucker.
excuse me. I'm sorry.
so obviously,
You know what I meant.
me and Bernie have been married for 8 years, and every winter they put me on. It's not a high dose. It's not a heavy dose. It's not, but they put me on a mild dose of an antidepressant, just because between my fibro and between I have suffered from depression since I was 18 years old.
And here's the other thing. I think a lot of people probably, I think a lot of people just experience this in itself. And I think I'd say almost everybody has it. I'm not going to give you the 1 in 3.
Well, I would say especially here.
I think
here
everybody
in New England
has this. Oversleeping, appetite changes, weight gains, tiredness, low energy. I mean, you look at this list and you're like, oh my God, I got that. Yes, I experienced that. I feel tired when I wake up. Yes, do I feel like I haven't got enough sleep? Yeah, absolutely.
You have CPAP and you have diabetes.
It's...
Because I have all that shit.
And that's the other thing.
But that's like when we went to Vegas, I felt amazing the entire time we were there. The sun was out. It was beautiful. We walked over 10 miles every day. We came home, and I was fucking
Well,
miserable.
there's actually a medical
It was
thing.
like-
You don't get enough sunlight. What's that, vitamin D?
Vitamin D.
If you don't get enough D, if you don't get the D, the D, it actually causes emotional fucking stress, man. And I get that.
So going back to the we were talking about stupid people. Maybe the winter months affect people in ways that you see people driving like idiots. When people go into the grocery stores and cut you and cut in line and the way people talk towards each other and just being rude to bartenders and waitresses and just people in customer service in general. It blows my mind that this occurs, and we have these disorders that have never been documented before, and now are becoming a reality. I don't know. Again, in the 1920s and the 1930s, they didn't have to deal with some of the technologies that we have to we deal with, just like what Mike said.
I mean, don't forget too. Back even when my grandmother was younger, they walked everywhere. They didn't have a vehicle. They walked everywhere. So even in the winter months, they were outside. They were outside in the sun. We kind of take for granted that because we go from the house into the car, into work, into the and back. We're not outside. We're not even in the snow. I mean, yeah, we all bitch and moan that we've got a shovel and whatever, but we're not outside. Mm-hmm. Where when you're for when you had to farm and you didn't have a choice but to be outside, even in the winter months. So you still got that vitamin D. You still, whether you wanted to or not, that was how you made your living. That's how and now people are, they're in cubicles and they're under fluorescent lights and it's all coming,
The one thing that I also wanted to bring up also is, you would think with today's technology, we'd be more advantageous to take that in more of a positive light. Like, for example, I know some of these technologies that we have in our vehicles become a distraction, but we also have these voice-activated technologies out there that you would think would make things a little bit easier. Again, like you pointed out, you making sure that your two hands are on the wheel. You have the Alexas in the world and hi Google and.
Hey, I got my watch that yells at me every 30 minutes if I'm not moving.
You know what I mean?
If I don't move, it yells at me.
And that's a good thing. Again, that's a good thing. That's the stuff that I'm talking about. The watches out there, the phones out there, going, hey, listen, walk for do a sprint for a minute and come back to whatever you were doing. It's something that, and this is the problem with obesity. You know what? I'm the poster child. I've lost weight, I've gained weight. This is the heaviest I've ever been, and it's tough because I have, I have lupus, and there's